1998 was one of the greatest years in video gaming, with games like Banjo-Kazooie, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Metal Gear Solid being released throughout the year. These titles are some of the most respected and praised even up until this day. That's not it though. We can't forget other titles like Pokemon Red and Blue, Mario Party, Fallout 2, Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy Tactics, and, well, I'll stop there. But out of all of these timeless releases, one lies among them and will never be forgotten. You guessed it. On November 19th, 1998, Half-Life was released. The legendary developer known as Valve, who has since turned the majority of their attention to Steam and being primarily a game distributor, was founded by Mike Carrington and Gabe Newell, who once worked at Microsoft. When they had departed and settled on a product that they had both wanted to develop, they had turned to ID Software's Doom as inspiration. The entire team was blown away by the success of Doom and had wanted to scare players just like Doom did. Valve had struggled to find a game publisher, and were thrilled when Sierra Online had agreed to sign a one-game contract with Valve, as they were conveniently looking to publish a first-person shooter game and were even more enthused when they had discovered that it was to be based on Quake's code. Originally, Valve was aiming for a September 1997 release date to compete with Quake, but their unique approach to development pushed the release back until November 1998. During development and playtesting, although they had felt that they had created innovative aspects of the game, they became bored very quickly. The September 1997 window was pushed back as the team went back to square one and reworked every single level in the entire game. As Valve looked for a brand new game designer, they had struggled to find anyone suitable for the job. Rather than hire someone and take another calculated risk with development, they had formed what they had called a cabal, a team of 6 from different departments within Valve. Those 6 people worked on all aspects of the game, from level design, music, sound effects, narrative, and brand new gameplay elements. Once they had found success with this method, they had then formed smaller cabals to work on what they had agreed on, and it proved very successful, as Valve had achieved near perfect cohesion across all aspects of the game when it released. Playtesting began shortly after the Cabal initiative, and Valve had even agreed to use this method at the very beginning of the Team Fortress 2 development cycle. Light puzzles are found throughout the game, such as moving boxes into an arrangement so you can progress into the next section, or crouching through a maze of ducts into a rotating conveyor belt. Platforming is also involved, like hopping across a series of shipping crates while trying not to plummet hundreds of feet to the concrete below. Half-Life was one of the first-person shooters to implement these designs, and it broke up the shooting sections to keep the player from getting bored or to avoid repetitive tasks.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit. I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons.
One of the most interesting characters in the game by far is known as the G-Man. This mysterious figure is spotted throughout the game, seemingly watching Gordon's every move. When he makes an appearance, it is usually in far-off scenes or in an area of the map where Gordon can't reach. He's an otherworldly being and has a cryptic way of speaking, as if he had just learned English, and resembles what's been reported as the Men in Black. He seems to be looking out for Gordon, although his motivations aren't clear or explained. If you guys would like me to do an in-depth video or an analysis on the G-Man in the Half-Life series, let me know in the comments below. Half-Life launched to critical acclaim and received a 96 score on Metacritic. As of 2008, Valve stated that it had sold 9.3 million worldwide, and that's not even accounting for digital sales, that's physical release alone. Sales and review scores aside, Half-Life gave birth to the modding community, thanks to Valve releasing the SDK, which included model editors, level editors, texture editors, and everything in between for free. Valve is known for hiring many of the modders that use the SDK to develop their own games, perhaps the most famous mod being Counter-Strike, which spawned a whole series across many platforms. More recent with Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is one of the biggest esports in the world right now. Another mod that gained traction was Team Fortress, which led Valve to hire the modding team and develop the sequel, which took more than 10 years and gave birth to the hero shooter genre we're all familiar with right now. Half-Life changed the way we look at video games, with it being praised and put on a pedestal that I think it deserves. Had it not been for Half-Life, we may not be enjoying the games that came after, such as BioShock, Halo Combat Evolved, which gave birth to a world-renowned series, Wolfenstein, and the competitive multiplayer games that we've been playing for years.